In this Kingdoms of Amalur video, I'm going to be talking about the new expansion called Fatesworn that comes out tomorrow. And what I really like about this expansion is that it's a proper expansion, meaning that it allows you to use your existing character to complete things after the ending of the game. So for those of you who don't want to, start a new character and then go off on a tangent and do some DLC and then come back and continue, you're actually going to be able to take your character and continue playing up to level 50, which is the new cap. You're going to get somewhere between 8 to 12 hours of gameplay depending on whether you do all the content that's added in the expansion. The main quest line takes about 6 hours or so the rest of that gameplay is going to be with side quests and tasks and faction quests, stuff like that. The expansion takes place in a new area called Mithros. It has its own separate map that's kind of in the northwest corner off the edge of the main map. It's fairly large, I'd say. It's not, nearly as big as the main area of the game, but it's about the same as the other, unique maps in the game. Besides increasing the level cap to 50, you're also going to get new chaos weapons. These are available once you progress the main storyline far enough, and there are certain enemies in the game that are basically immune to regular damage, so that you have to use chaos weapons against them. You're going to be able to forge new chaos weapons, so that's also part of the expansion. There are also new things called chaos portals that kind of remind me of like very, very miniature dark anchors from Elder Scrolls Online, where there are these portals where like enemies come out, you kill the enemies, you can close the portal, and then you can go into like a Chaos Realm dungeon, explore it, and get loot and come back out. It's not the most innovative mechanic that I've ever seen, but it does add something to the game, as there is a new skill line that follows this that reveals these around the map. So as your chaos sight improves, you're going to be able to see these from further and further away. You're going to have them marked on the map so you can find them in order to do this activity more and more easily. There are also new Twist of Fates. You'll get these as you do certain activities throughout the game, so you can expect other passive benefits as well. All in all, I haven't completed everything in the expansion, but I've played about 6 hours or so, progressing the main storyline quite a ways and having done quite a bit of the side quest. And I will say, it's just more Kingdoms of Amalur. If you like Kingdoms of Amalur, which I really, really do, you should like the expansion. It plays very similar to what you'd expect. The voice acting is very good, the music is very good, the setting is good. They have like a new snowy region that's kind of fun to explore. So if you like Kingdoms of Amalur, this should be right up your alley. Probably my biggest issue with the Fatesworn expansion is the cost. It is $19.99 currently on Steam. I'm assuming it's going to be the same price on Xbox and PlayStation, which is kind of staggering for a very old game, one that's been remastered a little over a year ago, admittedly. But the remaster, honestly, wasn't much of a remaster in terms of visualness. Like, it didn't improve the graphics much at all. Really, what it did is it brought the game to modern platforms so people could play on console. And that base game is actually still $39.99 on Steam, even though it's a year old and it's a very modest remaster of a very old game. So they're charging a lot of money for not only the base game, but the expansion for this. You can get it together as a bundle for $55, which is basically the cost of a new game in a lot of cases. The base game itself is also over 100 hours of gameplay, so you're getting 100 hours of gameplay for $39.99 and maybe more, and then you're paying about $20 for, another 10 hours of gameplay. So the price point to me seems way, way off. You can either look at it from that point of view, saying this is way overpriced, or you can look at it the other way, which I'm sure some people do that are fans of the franchise, which is that this is a very classic game. They don't make games like Kingdoms of Amalur anymore. They've moved away from it. Who knows when we'll see another game like that, and THQ seems to be on this game plan where they're sort of reviving these old franchises to some degree, maybe with the intention of creating a new game in the series and creating hype, or maybe just they know that fans of the series want this, want more content for these old games, and that, the direction of gaming, in my opinion, has been kind of going in the wrong direction for a while in terms of loot boxes and how do we create people playing every single day, whether the content is good or not. So you have these older games that, in my opinion, are classics and need some love, and THQ has sort of embraced that, and they're running with that. So I think opinions on this are probably going to vary wildly. You're either going to think it's overpriced, which I think it's slightly overpriced in my opinion, or you're totally fine with it because, frankly, you love this game and you will pay whatever for more content. There's a lot of fans of Titan Quest, for instance, that will pay $20 for an expansion of that game. I did. I think it's overpriced, but I did anyway because it's just so good. Same thing when they, remastered the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance game. I bought that, even though I thought it was overpriced because I'm such a fan. That's obviously not a THQ game, but you get my point. There is a fan base out there for these games that will pay whatever because they simply didn't expect this to happen years and years later and are really, really happy that it is. And they've played these games. They were such a huge part of people's gaming experience back in the day, and they're willing to pay these sort of costs in order to get more content for their beloved game. Just a note here before I wrap up this video, this DLC, or this expansion, Fatesworn, is only available for those who own the Re-Reckoning version of the game. So if you own the previous version on Steam, you won't be able to play the DLC or the expansion unless you upgrade to the Re-Reckoning version. So what do you guys think? Do you think $20 is too much for about a 10-hour expansion for a pretty old game? Or does it not matter because it's so classic and, you know, you'll pay whatever for it? Let us know in the comments below.